Rochelle, we know that in Donald Trump's zero-sum world, someone always has to pay the least and somebody the most. We know how much it's going to cost ZTE just to stay alive, more than $2 billion when all is said and done. But the more difficult thing to quantify is how much this costs Donald Trump. ZTE has been facing financial ruin since the US banned suppliers from trading with it. The Chinese telecoms giant caught in the trade crossfire between Washington and Beijing. The US has reversed the ban, but with tough conditions.
We think this settlement, which brought the company, a $17 billion company, to its knees, more or less put them out of business, now they're accepting having this compliance team in, whole new management, whole new board, should serve as a very strong deterrent, not only for them, but for other potential bad actors.
ZTE will also have to pay a $1 billion fine, having already paid nearly as much for breaching a settlement for violating sanctions. It will also have to put up another $400 million of suspended fines in escrow, and in an unprecedented move, have a US-selected monitoring team in place. US President Donald Trump had pledged to help ZTE, whose 75,000 worldwide employees were at risk. But lawmakers plan to introduce bipartisan legislation blocking Trump. Republican Senator Marco Rubio tweeting, "This deal may keep them from selling to Iran and the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, but will do nothing to keep us safe from corporate and national security espionage." Both Republicans and Democrats contend that tech firms like ZTE pose a threat by forcing US commercial partners to share their trade secrets. China denies this. Well, Rochelle, don't count on lawmakers being able to pass that legislation to try and block President Trump from doing this. There's lots of skepticism, mainly over timetabling issues in Congress, but it tells you an awful lot that in a protracted, polarized, I should say, political climate such as this one in the United States, lawmakers are willing to set aside their differences and come together in opposition over this deal for ZTE. Many of the suppliers, though, are happy about this. Their share prices were ticking up today for those companies who do business with ZTE or want to have a presence in China. So they're definitely moving in the right direction. And of course, as US President Donald Trump heads to Canada for the G7, which is going to be dominated by the prospect of trade battles with many of his key partners, maybe, just maybe, he's narrowed his differences with China. Rochelle.